Okay, for our project, we did a consultant work on Twitter. My name is Megan Clark. I'm a sport management major with a business admin minor. I have experience in marketing, sales, leadership, and coaching.
I'm Alexis Orm, and I'm a major in marketing and business administration, and I have experience in leadership, customer service, economic, and analytics.
My name is Angel Southern. I'm a sport management major, business administration minor, and I have experience in marketing, leadership, and customer service.
My name is Daniel McLeod. I am a business administration major with a concentration in marketing, and I have experience in leadership and customer service.
Okay, so for Twitter, they're on the New York Stock Exchange. They have a lot of shares, and mostly they're employees that work for the company. They're headquartered in San Francisco, California, and were founded in March in 2006. Twitter is an American online news and social networking service in which users post and interact with messages known as tweets. They're focusing on their growth while maintaining an open platform demand of skills and executive team that embraces a challenge. Twitter requires a board of education that promotes the mission as well as its financial goals. Their vision statement is, our philanthropic mission is to reflect and engage the power of Twitter and the talents of our employees through direct civic engagement, employee volunteerism, charitable contributions, and in-kind donations, and by harnessing the Twitter service for good. So they're really focused on promoting transparency about their political activity and contributions to the community. In 2018, they had 326 million Twitter users monthly, as well as 500 million tweets sent per day. They work together across 35 offices worldwide, and they have approximately 4,100 employees. So the CEO of the company, Jack Dorsey, started in 2006 when the company was first founded. He's 42 years old. The CFO, Ned Siegel, he joined Twitter in 2017 at 45. Leslie Berland is the CMO. She also joined in 2016, and she's 37. Michael Montano, the lead engineer of the app, joined in 2011 at 34 years old. And Matt Durella is the global VP of customer services, and he joined in 2012. So the problem with Twitter is that it has a lack of inclusion in the workplace, which can hurt their future growth potential. They experienced a lot of issues with fake accounts, bots, abusive content, and misinformation, which has far-reaching effects on the company because the people who have the accounts were really unsatisfied with the way that the app was working, and Twitter refused to listen to their customer complaints. So we investigated potential OB variables, leadership trust, and organizational culture that might have caused Twitter to become one of the most hated companies in America in 2018. We found that Twitter faced a number of public relations issues in 2018 that were largely due to hate speech and misinformation on their platform. Women, in particular Black women, faced frequent harassment on the site, and an international report found that 1 in 10 tweets mentioning Black women were abusive or problematic as compared to the 1 in 15 for white women. Since last October, Twitter's rate of account suspension has more than doubled, and to combat that suspicious content and remove those bots, user satisfaction has deteriorated because of that. Americans are using Twitter to take positions on controversial topics and shout their opinions and their viewpoints, which can lead to a lot of disagreements and arguments between the users.
So for evidence of these issues, their customer satisfaction survey, you can see that they have dropped in their recent years. So in 2017, their score was at a 70, and in 2018, it was only at a 66%, which is a negative percent change of around 5.7%. They also have had requests for data removal, and it's drastically jumped from 2017 to 2018. So government agencies, police, and courts of multitude of countries submitted a total of 12,244 removal requests, and the Twitter Transparency Report shows that Twitter received approximately 80% more global legal demands. So you can see in 2017 they had only around 6,651 requests for removal, while in 2018 they had nearly double that. So for the inclusion issues in their workplace, they have underrepresented minorities and women tend to lag behind with employment and getting the jobs in the workplace. So 9 out of 10 workers are white or Asian, and 2/3 of them are men. 4% of the workers are Hispanic or Latino, and 3% are African American. And according to the EEO-1 report, which measures diversity in the workplace and is a required filing with the Department of Labor, of the 76 African American workers and the 134 Latino Hispanic workers, none were in executive positions, and only 9 African Americans and 14 Latino, so Hispanic workers, out of the 399 positions that were available or that they had in managerial roles, they only had 9 African Americans and 14 Latinos in those positions. So for some financial statistics, their global revenue in 2018 was $3.04 billion. Their annual net income in 2018 was just under half of that, like around $1.2 billion. Their advertising revenue was $2.6 billion, and their data licensing revenue in 2018 was $425 million, which those are the two segments that they usually work in. And as you can see, most of their revenue comes from the advertising section. Their stock performance, as you can see, has had some great ebbs and flows and dips. So the Twitter is actually below the DJ Internet Composite and the SP 500 ranking. As you can see, the DJ Internet Composite is in orange and the SP 500 is in green. So in December 2013, their stock price peaked at probably around like $160 per share, and the lowest it was at was probably around $40 or $30. As you can see, it's below the $50 mark. Overall, Twitter outperformed in some markets with its stock up around 20%. And as of April 2019, the stock is up 14% in the past 3 months. So in some Twitter industry rankings, it's one of the more popular social media networking apps in the United States. It was number 4, and it has 67.18 million users. However, there is a 37.72 million user gap between Facebook Messenger and Twitter, which is probably due to the fact that Facebook Messenger is more of a messaging app and they don't have a character limit. So some industry rankings continued. The graphic to your right is of leading mobile app publishers in the U.S. as of October 2018 based on reach. This is how many consumers they reach in their market. So while the previous graph is based on the change in ranking, you can see that their ranking is going to be changing. So they dropped to number 14 as opposed to number 4. And this is a demographic of who the app is reaching and who are their users. So you can see it's a pretty even split between women and men, with men being 24% and women being 25%. However, you can see they have a fairly large age group from 18 to 64 being the main part of their demographic that uses the apps, with 2 through 17 and 64 plus not having much of a presence.
The ratings and trends show that Twitter is rated with 4 stars out of 5. Shows that the employees are satisfied with the company and the work. This rating also shows that their CEO approval rate is 85%, which shows effective leadership. What we found Twitter exceeded Q1 expectations for 2019 at 37 cents in earnings per share and 787 million in revenue, which was the higher than consensus of 15 cents in EPS and $775 million in revenue. Last year, during this same period, Twitter had a reported EPS of 16 cents on 564 million in revenue. In this quarter, total revenues increased 18% year over year, but at the same time, costs and expenses also increased 18% year over year, totaling at $693 million. In the second quarter, Twitter is expected to see total revenue between $700 million and $830 million, with operating income between $35 million and $70 million. They estimate that Twitter will have an EPS of 18 cents and $820 million in revenue. Average daily active users totaled at 134 million for the quarter in 2019, compared to 120 million in the first quarter of 2018. Average monthly active users was fixed at 330 million for the first quarter in 2019, compared to 336 million in the first quarter of 2018. Twitter shares were crushed in the end of 2018 after a short firm named Citron called them the Harvey Weinstein of social media. Citron said that Twitter had become uninvestable and advisors will soon have to look at all the sponsorships involved with Twitter. This is based on the recent report from Amnesty Internal that conducted. Twitter is an abuser of human rights and has become a place that is toxic to women. Knowing that women are abused every 30 seconds on the platform of Twitter, and this is based off of 800 female journalists and politicians to show the culture of hate that undermines Twitter.
So now here are the suggested solutions that we have for Twitter. Based on our extensive research and past experience, we propose the following. First are privacy issues that need to be tighter, and this can be achieved by, first, keeping up with new technological advances in informational technology, sitting down with lawyers and devising stricter privacy rules, as well as revised data mining agreements to not allow as much of the user's data to be stored, creating stronger protections such as firewalls and protective hardware to further fortify user personal information. The second one is bots, fake accounts, abusive users, and misinformation need to be controlled, and this can be accountability by more rigorous proofing of human status during signups should be implemented. Right now, usually check here to prove you are not a robot box, but there are ways to get around it and create fake accounts. Strike system for abusive users or a penalty system should be put into place and reports of all accounts so that they can be checked, and if the content is proved to be harmful or abusive, it should be deleted. So for the third reason, Better needs to become a more inclusive company, and this can be achieved by creating goals for diversity in different departments, and this can help to give goals to meet and will allow for a greater understanding of issues if greater inclusion is reached. This will only help Twitter grow and going forward. Reevaluating the hiring process. When your company is heavily skewed toward not one gender race, you need to look at the hiring department to see if there's an issue of discrimination or a misrepresentation of your company that causes only certain demographics to apply. And the last reason to offer a solution for the problem that Twitter has is that Twitter needs to listen to customer complaints and use that to make changes and strengthen customer satisfaction. And by doing this, users don't like constant ads or how the app is chronologically based, which makes following Twitters and their followers not come up on their feed. And with these issues, it makes it making even small changes can really improve user satisfaction. And the last change, solution for our problem is that these issues need to be dealt with in a timely manner and proactive planning. Too many times, social media companies wait until they are facing issues and don't look forward to preventive measures. The planning department needs to ensure all aspects are looked at, as well as future goals reevaluated, as well as protective measures put into place. And this concludes our consulting project on Twitter. Thank you.